everyone, welcome back to Prolong Lash. I'm Jodi and I'm sitting here with the lovely Alicia.
Hello, welcome to the YouTube channel. So today we have a bit of an interesting topic. It's something that's not talked about enough, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But it is about what stress, anxiety, and even hormones can do to affect lash retention. And so for those of you that have had clients complain that their lashes are falling out too soon and you know that you've done everything right, this is the episode that you need to be watching.
And I don't think we take the anxiety and stress and hormones and serious enough in so many points. But we talk about self-care, we talk about all that stuff, but you know yourself, I've just gone through menopause, so I'm sharing that with you. And it was a really up and down time for me. And it really changed lots of things about my personality, lots of things of how I felt. And you get hot flushes and things go on physically with your body. So it does not surprise me at all that this time or stress would affect something like your lashes.
Yeah, and sometimes like there is really obvious ones that people can sort of point the finger at when it comes to lash retention and hormones. That one's pregnancy. That comes up a lot. If someone says, oh, my lash clients, on a lash group, my lash clients' lashes are all falling out all of a sudden, haven't done anything differently, no one else's lashes are falling out, what's going on with that? Lots of people say, check if they're pregnant, ask if they're pregnant. So it's not like it's completely out of the scope of people's thoughts that these things can affect lash retention, but I don't think people go quite deep enough into the possibilities. And we're not doctors, and I'm not a doctor. Jodi's not a doctor.
Not even a lash artist, so I'm going to struggle twice as much with this as you are.
So, take this with a grain of salt. This is based on research that we've done and our understanding, but, there is more to lash retention than your glue. So we'll get into it.
So let's talk science for a sec. And let's talk really quickly because I've practiced the word. Telogen effluvium. Okay.
Yeah.
What is telogen effluvium?
So telogen effluvium is triggered. It's a disorder, temporary and curable disorder that is triggered by sudden onset of anxiety, high levels of stress, things like that.
Do you have that at the moment?
Oh, yes. No, look at my lashes.
It's coming out everywhere.
My lashes look beautiful. No, I don't believe I'm in telogen effluvium at the moment, but it can cause the hairs to be pushed out of the hair follicle much more quickly. So that happens everywhere on the body. We're just not talking about eyelashes right now, but it does happen to the eyelashes as well. People often notice it in their head hairline because that's an obvious place to notice it. But if your client is feeling extremely stressed, if there is big stresses in their life, changes going on, things that can cause stress that maybe even they're not realizing is stressing them out so much. I mean, you're probably better to touch on situations where people might feel their bodies might be feeling stress responses, but maybe in their mind they're not acknowledging it or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people do sweep that feeling under the rug. So a lot of people will go about their day and put on what we call a happy face. So I think that's a really good point. A lot of people do know that they're going through something on that day, but have to get through their day, so they push it down. So you're getting this person that's got this amazing, hi, how you going? But on the inside, they're gurgling, they're bubbling, something happened this morning, they've been triggered by something that happened in the car on their way there. It doesn't have to be that it doesn't have to be traumatic. It doesn't even have to be that dramatic. But yeah, there is definitely, in the social work field, there's definitely something where we try and get inside their head because we know what they're giving us is just a mask. So something could be going on inside their body and they don't even realize it.
Yeah. So if someone is experiencing rapid loss in their lashes, that is something that you could possibly investigate. Like, you don't need to be turning into a psychologist and freaking them out, but if there is no other cause, maybe just dig a little bit deeper. Like, have you been feeling stressed lately? Has anything stressful been going on? Because stress can trigger hair loss all over the body and in the lash line. Maybe it'll just give them a thought to go, you know what, actually work has been a mess. I actually am so stressed, you're right. And also check other areas. Is there a thinning of their eyebrows? Is their hairline thinning? You know, if that's the case, maybe the telogen effluvium has been triggered, and you should refer them to probably see a healthcare professional if they're not going to do that already. But a possible reason that lashes can be falling out outside of the, you know, eugleutin cure probably.
Yeah. And I think it's also important for you to realise as a lash artist that, you know, sometimes this happens and it's not the way you've applied your lashes, or it's not exactly, it is your problem, but it's not exactly what you've done with your service. So sometimes it's really worth it for your self-care and for your confidence in your work to actually delve a little bit into that client, because if you're just thinking, oh, I've done something wrong, and then starts to reflect your next work or how you're feeling about your work, and it's not you, ask the question. And people don't get offended if you say, you feel a little bit stressed lately, like particularly if they're your friends, particularly your clients, you know your clients. It's probably difficult to talk to someone you've met once or twice like that, but someone that's been sitting on your bed for 3 or 4 times, it's going to be quite easy to say and listen to what your client's saying. So if you know from last visit, you said you big things about this, that you used to mark something about their experience, like their daughter was getting married, or last time they were going to the Brownlow or something, whatever it is. Go back over your card and say, oh, well, that week she lost more lashes, or that there was problems, was the week after her daughter's wedding. You know, maybe try and fit events into the lash loss if it's happening.
Yeah, definitely monitor. If there is lash loss, monitor, take pictures, document, and take notes of what's happening.
So dysregulation is a word that's been thrown around in my house a bit, because my daughter's had some issues with her heart. And when we were trying to get work through, and she's fine, everyone, thank you, but when we were trying to work through what wasn't wrong with her, and they were ticking off things that weren't wrong with her, it eventually got down to the heart specialist saying her system's deregulated. So she's having problems with her nervous system being dysregulated. So what the heart was doing was not keeping up with, her system wasn't keeping up with when she was feeling tired, it wasn't readjusting her blood pressure to be a little bit higher, and it wasn't readjusting her melatonin level to help her sleep at night. There was all these big terms they were using, but it basically come down to that her nervous system was playing tricks on her, it was dysregulated. And we've just done the research on this and found out that this is common in the lash industry.
Yeah, because not only can this stress on your system cause like lash shedding and cause your natural lashes to fall out, and that takes your extensions with it, but nervous system dysregulation. You're the one that
dysregulation.
There you go. Now, dysregulation can also affect the adhesion of lashes. So because you're more likely to be producing more oils and things from the hair follicle, sometimes your pH balance levels can be off. Things that are dysregulated means that your lash growth and your hair follicles are not doing what they normally do. They're not, playing the game.
They're not regulated. So the cycle's different.
Yeah. So the actual adhesion process of sticking the lash on can sometimes just not work. Maybe the glue will not adhere if there is not the right pH levels in the lashes, or there's a lot of oil on the lashes or something like that, and they're going to maybe not stick at all, or stick but not well and then fall off prematurely without the natural lash, something like that.
Yeah.
Making sure that your prep work is extremely good is important. When people are in times of stress within their body, you can help to make sure that the lashes adhere properly by
washing your lashes with pH balanced aftercare before you start.
Such as
Prolong Lash. We could have a song.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a pH balanced Prolong Lash little song, little Nimpy Man song.
We should. In
the Gingerbread Man.
Year 7, we wrote a song about photosynthesis so that we could remember what it was.
Do you remember the song?
Yeah.
Give us a little line.
Photosynthesis. That's the way plants make their food. Photosynthesis. Don't you wish you could photosynthesize too?
There you go. Okay.
It could be like that,
wash your
but
lashes.
pH balance.
pH balance, prolong, wash your lashes, and they will stay on very long.
I like it. Okay. Yeah.
It's just getting very heavy for
Jodi,
me. It's
new
getting very
head
heavy
of marketing.
for me. Oh, so dysregulation. So you've talked about the cycle of the lash changing with the nervous system if something's going on and it's triggered. Sammy, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but Sammy was producing too much oil in her system through this dysregulation, and her normal underarm spray, what is deodorant? We had to change deodorants. We were given a deodorant that we had to change that didn't affect or react like it was reacting and burning her skin under her armpit. Something that she's used for a long time. So things really seriously do affect through this dysregulation. Her makeup wasn't staying on. Her makeup was dripping off all the time, or she couldn't apply it the same. So it would be very relevant to lashes, this dysregulation. She's gonna kill me
So interesting. So make sure that your bonds are good, and if the lashes just aren't sticking, again, maybe something else is going on here. Maybe it's not your humidity's not right in your room. Maybe that their lashes really need that proper prepping and proper care, and make sure that you're really emphasizing that they're going home and washing twice daily with their cleanser and keeping their lash line clean if they're going to be producing like a lot more oils than normal. So
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not really anything different. It's just prep, clean, and enforce that home lash care,
which you should be doing anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
But in case you're not, you've got to learn to help your clients. You're actually going to be helping your clients with this, because it's probably a yucky feeling what they're going through, and they don't even know probably how to fix it themselves. And you're offering them a solution. Once again, not medical advice, but you're offering them a solution to something that might just help with something they invest in their money in, their lashes, and makes them feel good. So for their well-being and their, you're being very good and very helpful. I need a coffee because I'm going to fall asleep. I didn't get any sleep last night. I need a coffee. Does that affect my lashes?
It actually could.
Could it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Look,
I know. That's why I said it.
Environmental factors are actually a big issue and factor when it comes to lash retention. So look, coffee overload, people living on coffee, if they're living on coffee, maybe there's a reason, maybe they're feeling a bit stressed, but it can deregulate your sleep patterns. It causes your sleep to be less effective, like the actual sleep that you're getting. When you sleep, your body's recovering, and that gives your body a chance to regrow cells, and your hair and things like that are growing overnight and creating those new hairs in the hair follicles. And if you're not getting good rest, your body's just prioritizing keeping your main things going, your organs and that kind of stuff. Yeah, they don't really, it stops caring about your extremities and your hairs and caring about that
Scars.
stuff. Yeah, so you need to be sleeping and caring for yourself to have good quality, strong eyelashes.
To have a good life too.
Yes.
Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
The healthier you are in anything, like with my knee surgery, I recovered quite quickly from that. I am a fairly healthy person, drink lots of water, listened to the doctor, slept when I was tired, did the rehab, and my knees recovered and my scars have recovered. But I gave my body the extra time to heal. So it's like anything. You just have to look after yourself. And your expectations, if you're not a healthy person, of anything going on in your body can't be. Like, you notice when you're really healthy, your nails grow really well.
Yeah.
So,
and not to say that drinking coffee is going to make your lashes fall off. That's not the case. I mean, if you're going to drink
what about
coffee,
drinking vodka?
I don't know. That might make you sleep really well. I'm not sure. But have your coffee, enjoy your coffee and that kind of thing. But if you're at a point in your life where you're living on coffee to keep you going, and your nervous system is overloaded and everything's stressed and your sleep quality isn't good and those kind of things, that will affect overall everything, but it will affect lashes. So if you're seeing your client and she comes in and goes,
she's like,
oh, sorry, my eyes are a bit flickery today. I've had 7 coffees and I haven't had lunch yet, and You are trying to apply them to lashes that are moving everywhere. One, makes it harder to lash, and the lash adhesion's not going to be as good. But, you know, if they start losing their lashes a lot faster or they're not looking as good, maybe think about
coffee addiction.
could it be some environmental issues that's causing the lash fallout? And maybe you can have a talk to them about if they want their lashes to last.
Yeah.
And they're hard to last. Because
you've told me since day one that environmental factors, if controlled by good lash washing, are okay.
Yes.
But this is more environmental factors that affect you internally. Like, so drinking too much coffee affects you internally. It makes your nervous system and it makes you shake. Not getting enough sleep, it doesn't help you heal. But going for a surf and washing your lashes after, that's fine. So that when you're talking about environmental, let's just get that clear. It's not swimming or it's not going to the gym. We're talking about things that affect your inner health of your body.
Yeah. And so then there's so much controversy about like seasonal changes and whether seasonality has an effect on lash shedding. Lots of people say that you get a boost in hair growth coming into winter, you lose hair going into summer, and
why?
Because if you're going into summer, you don't need as much hair because you're going into a hotter climate, so you might shed the hairs.
Like animals.
Yeah, I guess that's the theory. And look, I don't necessarily subscribe to the idea that your lashes shed faster because of a season change, but I'm not saying that that's not the case either. Like,
you can't blame it just on that.
No, you can't. Can't just go, oh, your lashes are falling out summer. It's now because it's spring. Exactly. Well, maybe they're falling out faster because it's spring, because you have hay fever and there is pollen in the air and you're sneezing all the time and touching your eyes. That might be the reason. It's not really because it's spring or it's a seasonal change. Or maybe your lashes are falling out faster in winter because it's freezing, so you're inside all the time, so you're exposed to a heater all the time, your eyes are feeling really dry and you're scratching them or whatever. Like, I think there could be things because of the seasonal changes that lead to other reasons that your lash retention might be poor. I don't think it's just like it's winter now. So
it's winter, but the heaters are on, so it's the effect of what you do. Things change through winter because you try and keep your house warm.
Yeah.
So you're saying the actual condition of your house is not. It's not that it's winter and they're snapping off because it's frozen.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, or like your hairs look like, quick! I really need to grow heaps of hairs because it's cold now and I need to keep my eyelash line
I need a winter coat.
But people do think that that's also a part of it. So look, I'm not a scientist. I can't say yes or no. It's just what I've personally witnessed in my clients of 15 years of doing lashes. I think that if it was just because like winter's here, I think all of my clients would have been like, well, here comes my new winter coat. And that never happened in my experience with all of my clients. So, but, is possible. And I know that hormonal changes as well obviously can have a big impact on hair growth cycles and stuff like that. So I think those kind of factors are something to take into account when you're worrying about your client's lash retention.
Well, it's funny, hormonal changes with the last couple of years with me. You spend your whole life waxing or lasering or doing all these treatments and your hair eventually stops growing so much. It's just a known fact. All my girlfriends have talked about it. But what happens is hairs pop up in rad places, like places that you never expect to get a hair. You're just like, oh, where'd that come from? And it's somewhere on your body, like the back of your knee. Some big black hair on the back of your knee. So the hormones are doing stuff to your body every day. So I'm sure they'd be doing stuff to your lashes.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a lash artist, there is only so much you can do for someone that is suffering from maybe one of these different retention issues that we've just talked about. But like, what do you think a lash artist can actually do in this situation to try to make this better?
So personally from me, so just from my experience, I know if I'm stressed and if I'm feeling triggered or if I'm feeling anxious, a calm environment, a calm environment that's easy to access. So coming into a place and it being calm, and there being some nice quiet music on, and it not being crazy with, I've got this thing about kids at the moment, but crazy with someone's brought their kids. You know, I don't know if you can have a kid-friendly environment when you actually have a salon, but for me, on days that I'm triggered and I'm feeling stressed, it's about the ambience, it's about the calmness, it's about soft-spoken people around me. It's like if you've got a headache, you want everyone to mellow out. So I think as a lash artist, what you can do is pick the client's mood. She mightn't be, I wouldn't want to talk that day. I would want it to be no talking. And I'd like the lash artist to acknowledge that. Hey, you seem a little bit stressed today. Have you got something going on? Look, just lay there, relax. Can I get you a drink or something before we start? Is the music okay? Are you warm enough? Do you need a blanket? Like I'd need probably a little bit of extra loving.
Mm-hmm.
That would be me. A little bit of extra attention.
Yeah.
Before the service started, and then, and I probably wouldn't want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like all that out before I lay down.
Yeah.
That's from a personal perspective. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And you know, sometimes when you see a client that is clearly distracted and feeling a bit, you know, you can read someone, especially if you've seen them for a while. I even think about, you know, just letting them know, I'm going to turn the light on now, because we know as lash artists we need a light because we need to be able to see, and it's also for OH&S issues we need to make sure the safety of our eyes, that the light is bright. But I had a light that you could adjust to different lights. So if I felt just someone was feeling a bit like, you know, jumpy, sort of triggery, I would go, I'm just going to turn the light on now, turn it on, then slowly bring it over their face. Then I'll say, I'm just going to turn it up one, and I just turn it up just bright enough for me to see, but like not sort of intrude on them, and just little things.
That's such a nice touch, because it's being attentive to someone's feelings. If you jump on it straight away, it's like if someone's screaming in your face and you say, I understand how you're feeling, and that calms the person down straight away. If someone can pick a body language, or can pick that you've had, like if you're walking in and you're putting your phone in your pocket and you drop it, and then you pick it up and you go, hi, how you going? You can tell someone's anxious, you can tell someone's got that. For someone to bring me down very quickly and just say, hey, are you okay? Or whatever, it instantly puts me in this better frame of mind. And I think that I would say, oh, that person was so nice. I would probably leave saying, this is just what I needed today. Thank you so much. You were really great. You know.
So really just like checking
and then
in
hit
with
them up, aftercare, reviews, you know, all that stuff. No.
But yeah, checking in with them and, you know, saying, are you okay? Like, is everything going on okay? And then also that might be pick your opportunity, but it might be an opportunity to say, let's just keep an eye on your lash retention sometimes. When you're feeling highly stressed or you're having times of anxiety like this, the lashes can, you know, fall out a bit faster. Let's keep an eye on it for next time. And, you know, try to get enough sleep. Try not to drink too much coffee. You know, maybe just give some gentle suggestions that are empathetic, like you care about them, not like you're telling them what to do.
Yeah, like a mother, but it's part of that. We were talking about premium services. It's showing that you are educated. It's showing that you have learned something about. It's showing that you take enough interest in your clients who have found out something about stress, something about what relates to stress, something about that helps with their retention. It's all about this education, and you're educating your client, but you're also looking like a true professional. Not just the caring side of it, but someone that actually reads, done a bit of homework, done a bit of research, and like, that makes sense. I've actually been drinking too much coffee and I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. Sometimes that is the biggest trigger to help someone with themselves, without being a psychologist or without having to, you know, so why is it so? Or whatever, you don't have to be that, but she might go out, or that client might go out and say, that, you know, Alicia was right, I need to slow down. I actually need to slow down and take care of myself. I'm going to take a couple of days off and have a lay on the couch and watch some Netflix.
And most clients don't know that lifestyle can have such an effect on their lashes, and sometimes maybe that can even be enough, where they go, oh no, I love my lashes and I pay lots of money for these and I don't want them to fall out. Maybe I do need to chill out and protect my lashes. Like that could even be enough for them to go, I don't want to be ruining things about my body because I'm stressing out so much.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's go through, no matter how much you do, sometimes you just have to realise it's not your fault. Sometimes it just realistically isn't your fault, but there are, like we've talked about, ways that you can help that client with their retention.
Yep.
Or a long lash.
Yeah.
Just subtle.
Of course. Sometimes you just need to acknowledge, look, your lashes are falling out. I can't do anything about this. So once you've gone through your checkpoints, go through your checks and go, did I apply these to the best possible way that I could apply them? That starts with pre-washing, having a lash bath with Prolong Lash Cleanser and making sure you've got a really clean, pH balanced base to start with. You don't have to use primer then if you've got that. Make sure they're really nice and dry. Apply them, the best that you can possibly apply them, and then make sure that they're doing their aftercare at home. Once you've done all those things and you know that your work is good, if they're still falling out prematurely, it might just be something that's out of your control and you're going to have to look into other causes.
Yeah, which is what we've talked about today with the environmental factors, with how you're feeling, you're stressed out. The pregnancy thing, it's always a tough one for me, the pregnancy thing. I see people and I know that they're pregnant because I've heard through a friend, and I always have this, I get this lump in my throat and say, are you pregnant, how are you going? I've seen horror skits on it, and I'm just not a person that asks it, but you can ask it because are you allowed to get your lashes done when you're pregnant?
You are, but you can, possibly as a beauty professional, you can say, it's important for me to know any medical, information.
Okay.
And a lot of people will share that early with their lash artist anyway, because they want to make sure that it's safe. They want to make sure that lashes are safe for them, and also laying on your back can be a concern for some people. So often you get told pretty early as a lash artist if one of your clients is pregnant.
So what about if someone's crazy?
What do you mean?
What about if someone's crazy, like me? Is that safe to put lashes on them? Someone's got mental crazy.
Yes and no. I mean, I don't even know how to answer this question, but I think that if they're being erratic, no.
Go into the next one.
Well, you don't want to stab someone in the eyes.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Okay, right. Next question. So but in all seriousness,
that would affect your retention if someone was acting crazy.
Yeah, because I'd be. For those of you that can't see me, I'm a picker, and I'd be sitting there. The people that play with their hair? That's me with lashes. You know how people get that curl in their hair and they do that and they sit there for hours and hours and hours. Or Carol that shakes her knee.
I pull on my
You know how Carol shakes her knee? Our producer Carol shakes her knee.
Shake it off.
So get some sleep.
Yeah, and if you're
lay off the coffee.
If you're concerned about your lash client, just say it might be an idea to see a medical professional, especially if you are seeing mass hair loss anywhere, like in their hair and their lashes. It's always a good idea just to be like, off you trot to a health professional, because I'm not one of those.
Yeah, and that's it for today, I think. That's quite heavy.
Yeah,
it's quite heavy.
It's a lot, but I think it's also really interesting and something that isn't talked about. I think I said that at the start, something that isn't talked about enough, because there are so many reasons that your lash retention can be poor, and often it's just blamed on simple stuff, and it's not always that simple.
So there you go. Have a listen to that. I hope it was interesting, and if you liked it, give us a thumbs up. And
subscribe to our channel, please. And of course, join us on socials and jump onto our website at www.prolonglash.com and .au for Australia. We have a great list of blogs that have all sorts of amazing information about lash artistry and lash business tips. So don't miss out on any of that free information for you.
And just in case you haven't heard today, we have an extremely fantastic pH balance cleanser
We do.
that can help your clients. So,
Absolutely. Stock it in your salon and give your clients' lashes the best chances of lasting as long as possible. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.